Is the kind of town where the dust rises under your feet with every step, and they roll up the sidewalks just after dark. It's a place that's quiet and empty, and the folks who live here, black and white, all know one another, most of them by name. It's not the sort of place you'd expect to find a big drug problem, let alone a major drug ring. But tonight, you're going to hear about one of the biggest drug busts ever in this part of the world. So big, it changed the racial makeup of the town. Tulia, it seemed, had won its war on drugs. The police came at dawn.
I was still asleep.
And I answered the door, and there's two cops. I mean, everybody had guns pulled.
I opened the door, and he said, "Dilly, we got a warrant for your arrest." And I said, "Huh? For what?"
They said, for a controlled substance.
And they said, "Well, you have a delivery of a controlled substance." And I said, "To who?" And he said, "Well, the man you delivered the drugs to will be downtown."
I was in my nightgown. They wouldn't let me put on pants.
I didn't have on nothing. I have no shoes, no socks, no shirt, just my boxers. And I asked to put my clothes on. They said, "Where you going? You don't need no clothes."
They were going to jail. Joe Henderson describes the humiliation.
He said, if I don't get my black, you know what, in the car, I'm going to put you in the car. I said, "Don't do this in front of my kids." They were really shook up. They were just crying. And first thing out of the chief of police's mouth is that he said that we can do what we want to do.
Tulia's tiny African-American community of just 250 was devastated. Eventually, 46 people were arrested, all but 5 of them black. 30% of the adult black population indicted for selling drugs, mostly powdered cocaine, to an undercover police officer. We spoke with 5 of the Tulia defendants. Yule Bryant was one of the first to go to jail.
When I got there, there was another guy in the cell, Vincent. Then Joe came in and Billy came in, and that morning they took the whole black community to jail.
The residents of Tulia, a predominantly white town, awoke that morning to these images on local television. Images of their black neighbors being hauled off to jail by the local sheriff, Larry Stewart.
I think this makes it very obvious that we have a problem. I can tell you that we didn't get everybody.
But no drugs, money, or weapons were found in any of the houses. And what's more, there were identifications that did not match the suspects and seemingly powerful alibis. Like forklift operator Billy Wafer, the husband and father of 2 was indicted for allegedly selling powdered cocaine at a local cattle auction. But he says he wasn't even there.
I had time cards showing that I was at work.
And Wafer says he had witnesses to back him up.
Some of these cases are obviously completely phony. Yule Bryant's case, for example, dismissed by the state after he was in jail for 7 months.
American Civil Liberties Union attorney Jeff Blackburn represents Bryant in a multi-million-dollar civil rights lawsuit against Swisher County. Bryant's police report describes him as a tall black male with bushy-type hair, but that police report is wrong.
How tall are you?
5'6", 5'7".
We also asked Bryant about his hair.
You didn't shave it since that identification.
No, it was shaved before that identification. It's been shaved like that for about 6 years.
So who was filing all these police reports? This man, Tom Coleman, an undercover agent hired by Sheriff Stewart to sniff out drugs in Swisher County. Coleman, who was the central figure in the Tulia drug sting, would later prove a controversial witness. More on Coleman later. Some cases were dismissed, are still pending, or have resulted in probation. But Agent Coleman testified against every defendant who went to trial. So far, 23 of the 46 Tulia defendants have been sent to prison. 57-year-old Joe Moore Sr., who had 2 prior felonies on his record, was convicted of selling just 1/8 of an ounce of powdered cocaine. His sentence, 90 years. But even those with no prior drug convictions got staggering sentences. Freddie Brookins, 20 years. And Kizzy White, no prior drug convictions, 62 years.
In every one of these cases, what the state is doing is saying to a jury, for example, take our word for it, take Coleman's word for it, they should be sentenced to prison. That's it.
132 jurors in the Tulia cases voted to convict based largely on Coleman's testimony and the powdered cocaine he produced in court. Cocaine, he said, came from the defendants. We spoke with 5 of the jurors from 2 of the Tulia trials. You don't think any of these 46 or so people are innocent?
Nope.
It'd be real nice if they were. It'd be really easy to get on the other side of it. No.